What's up, guys? We're back with another episode of It's Case. My name is Savan.
And I'm Kunal. So last week we brought on our first guest, and it went pretty well. So we're bringing on another guest.
What's going on, everyone? My name is Demterius. I am a friend of both Kunal and Savan. I went to high school with both of them. I am a huge diehard Dallas Cowboys fan. Have on all my Cowboy stuff right now. We them boys. Huge Yankees fan. Forced to be a Devils fan because they play in Jersey. Celtics fan. Sports fan in general. I'm excited to be here. Huge fan of the podcast.
All right. So like every episode, we're going to start this one with the draft as well. But this time it's going to be a little different.
So since the NFL playoffs are on right now and it's really exciting and everybody's watching it, we're going to be doing a draft on the NFL players for 2018-2019. We're going to be playing a 7-on-7 type draft where me and Kunal are one team and Demterius is the other team. There's going to be one quarterback, one running back, one tight end, and 4 wide receivers.
Okay, so we're going to flip a coin to see who goes first. Hey Siri, flip a coin.
Heads.
Nobody called it.
Come on.
Let's do it again. All right. Demetrius,
it.
since you're the guest, you can call it.
Tails never fails.
Hey Siri, flip a coin.
Tails.
All right, so you got first pick.
All right,
go ahead.
So first pick, I think it's pretty obvious. Got to go with my man out in LA. Even though I hope we kind of stomp him this weekend. Got to take Todd Gurley.
All right. So you want to take quarterback?
Mahomes.
Let's take the arm slinger, Patrick Mahomes. 50 touchdowns. 50 touchdowns, 5,000 yards.
Ricky's taking a quarterback in the first round. Okay.
This ain't no fantasy. It's a real game.
All right. So, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and pair a dominant elite receiver with my dominant running back. I am going to take Mr. Michael Thomas down in the Big Easy.
Good pick. You want to take
Running back or receiver?
Actually, let's go receiver.
All right.
You want to take Hopkins or next pick.
All
right, so we'll take DeAndre Hopkins.
Okay, decent pick. Wow, you guys are just making this too easy, man. So obviously, I'm gonna go receiver again. I'm gonna take AB. Might not be a Steeler for much longer, but he'll get the job done for now.
That was kind of a diva to me.
You want to pair him up with
OBJ.
best hands? Gave us Odell
Beckham Jr.
All right. Since I have Michael Thomas, makes perfect sense to go ahead and just stack him with the Hall of Famer Drew Brees.
Good pick. Take another stellar receiver.
I could take a running back.
Wait. He picked the running back. We got time.
That's
You
true.
want to stack up on the wide receivers? Julio Jones.
I got more birds like I'm Julio.
I mean, okay,
Oh,
you guys
man.
are okay. It's clear neither one of you really play fantasy football for money because
This is not fantasy, though.
We're not playing in terms of fantasy.
This is who wins on the street.
Yeah, it's the same concept.
7-on-7.
Because in the street or in real life, there's only a handful of great tight ends in this league. So I'm gonna go ahead and take Travis Kelce.
All right.
You want to take a receiver?
Who do you want for receiver? Oh, yeah, good pick. Let's take the speedster. Give me Tyreek
He's not
Hill.
even on the list right now. But him and
pick.
Mahomes?
Oh, man.
Ooh.
All right, so what I got left? I got 2 receivers left. Right. Let me see. So who's still on the board? Let me see.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Keenan, Adams, AJ.
AJ Green, Thielen.
He's going. You know what? Just a consistent. Give me Devontae Adams.
Solid pick. And you want to go with tight end or running back?
I'm going to go tight end. Leave the
All
best pick for last.
Okay, let's go with the best tight end in the league.
You're not
Zach Ertz.
I don't know about
You
that.
said best tight end
I don't know
in the
about
league.
that.
I wasn't sure if I heard that correctly.
I think he
He
got
he just broke Jason Witten's record for most catches.
I think
Mr.
he
Reliable. Give me.
I think he has the best tight end.
Yeah,
I don't know.
we could pull
If
up
we
the
pick
numbers.
Kittle, I mean, maybe.
I
I'm
don't
kidding.
Give me Zach Ertz.
If we pick George Kittle, then we
All right,
might have a
so-
point. But Zach Ertz, nah.
I have one more receiver left. I mean, I think there's a clear choice here. If you look on a per week basis, not giving so much team success, but on a personal level, definitely have to go with Adam Thielen.
That's a good pick. He started off hot and then fell off a little.
Now we got to pick the best young running back in the
I don't
league.
know. You want him?
Yes. Home run hitter
I say-
whenever he gets the ball.
I'd go with. You want to take Zeke?
No.
I say we take Zeke.
No, I'm not. You got to pick Saquon, and that's the easy choice right now.
Zeke's been kicking.
But Saquon.
We need a big man that could eat right now.
But Saquon in a 7-on-7?
We have our
In a 7-on-7.
we have our athletes though.
He had 100 receptions this year too. 2,000
We
scrimmage
don't
yards.
need catcher. We need runners.
But it's a 7-on-7.
I don't know, man.
The whole point is to be a dual threat, run it or receive.
I'm gonna have to agree with Savan.
Alright, so you want to
It's a
take Barkley?
7-on-7.
I'd take Kamara over Barkley too, though. But
You're bugging.
In a 7-on-7 setting,
Saquon,
I would take.
Out of all these running backs,
I would
Saquon
take
eat the
Kamara
most.
over Barkley in a 7-on-7 setting.
But I'm saying Saquon's
Even-
literally built for a 7-on-7.
okay, let's go with Saquon then. You know,
Zeke's built for more like running through him the whole game.
I would take Saquon then.
Say quad. Have you seen his quad?
I actually saw his quads in person. They were literally the size of my head.
Oh my god.
That's crazy. Alright, so let's debate these teams now. Okay, so let's debate our team. So since you're the guest, you go first. And it's 2-on-1, so you argue your team first.
All right, cool. So, I mean, just overall, going down my team, just to recap, Drew Brees, Todd Gurley, Michael Thomas, Devontae Adams, Adam Thielen, Travis Kelce, and last but not least, Antonio Brown. I mean, this team just screams consistency week in and week out. It doesn't matter whether it's home or away, indoors, outdoors, these players are going to constantly produce at a high level. I mean, for instance, Drew Brees, if I'm not mistaken, your second episode, he was one of the top moments of 2018, right? You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
you know what you're getting with him. A byproduct of that is he makes the people around him better. For instance, Michael Thomas, that chemistry they have, especially in a 7-on-7 setting, they torch 11 defensive players week in and week out. Imagine what they would do to 7 people.
And he's accurate too.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So you're taking 4 defenders off the field and telling them to guard Drew Brees. I mean, what's going to happen?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, also, if you're looking at, a guy like Todd Gurley, it's just the versatility is there. He's not known as one of the best pass-catching running backs in the league. You have other players like Kamara and whatnot. But those guys are more so, pass-catching specialists. Gurley is all around. So, he doesn't have to specialize in, in running the ball or, he's not just a third down running back because he's going to be in a passing situation only. He can do anything. He can catch it, and then once he catches it, he can either burn you or he can run over you. I mean, it's a 7-on-7, let's not forget, but even still, that versatility is there. Moving on to Adam Thielen. Adam Thielen, just somebody I follow very closely, being an avid fantasy player. He had a stretch, let's just count here, just to make sure I'm accurate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 straight
9
games.
games. Was it 8 or 9?
8 straight games
100
with at least 100 yards, right? But that's not what I want to focus on. What I want to focus on is 12, 13, 19, 12, 10, 13, 10. These are the number of targets that he's receiving, each game. So he's a usage monster. And that's not easy playing alongside Stephon Diggs, who, again, from another, sports moments, you guys talked about the Minnesota Miracle or Minneapolis, whatever, same thing. So doing that in an offense with Stephon Diggs and then at one point a healthy Dalvin Cook, that's special. So I think that's, since he's not, your flashy Antonio Brown or he's not your OBJ, he's a workhorse. And
I agree. Undrafted too.
yeah, exactly. And most of your league workhorses are the only players on their team, like an OBJ. You know what I'm saying? Or like a DeAndre Hopkins. He's clearly the guy, in that offense.
Yeah.
Not so much the case with Thielen, and he still made a name for himself. Moving on. Speaking of Antonio Brown, now I know that there's a lot going on in the news with him, but just there's not much you need to say about him. I don't know his stats off the top of my head, but then again, do you really need them? Because just watch the tape. Even more so this season, with them lacking a true, that elite running back. He stepped up in a big way, and like I said, it's Antonio Brown.
And he gets doubled every week.
Exactly.
Every
for
week,
him to be the
double
best
team.
receiver in the league, and to receive the type of defensive attention that he does, and for him to still produce, that's that's really saying a lot. Who did I speak about yet?
Travis Kelce.
I mean, but do I really need to though? I mean, there's how many elite receivers in this league? Let's count them. You have Kelce, you have Ertz.
Gronk.
Yeah, I'm not counting
Kittle?
Gronk as elite.
Kittle's
anymore.
not. I don't think.
Kittle, he's
yeah.
good. It might be a little early on him.
Ebron.
Even.
Ebron
too many
just had
drops.
a good run towards the end of the season.
It's just pretty much Kelce and
Yeah,
Ertz.
but see, the thing with Kelce is why he's such a matchup nightmare is he's too fast for linebackers and too big for defensive backs.
Yeah.
So he kind of has like that. He's kind of similar to when Jordan Reed was in his prime doing what he does.
Oh yeah.
Right. You know what I mean? In Washington, even though they didn't really
He
do
got
much,
hurt, but like he was always hurt though. Yeah.
yeah, but see, that's the point though. I mean, it's like it's how do you cover somebody like that?
Yeah.
And in a 7-on-7 setting where it's all if we put a defense out there, 7 defensive backs, you could have 12 defensive backs out there. They're not, he's a matchup nightmare for me.
Yeah, for sure.
So like I said, that's my case for my team. It doesn't matter what situation you put them in. They have a very high floor, very safe, very consistent.
All right. So you want to talk one player and back and forth each, and then go against you. We'll do that. We'll talk one player and then go back and forth because two people talking.
You can go first.
All right. So for Mahomes, not much to say, man. He's in his second season and he can sling the ball. He could probably throw end zone to end zone. No look passes.
On the run.
The way he
Left,
twists his
right.
body, things
Backflip.
we've never seen. It's crazy. So having quarterback like that, especially playing 7-on-7, quarterback's the most NFL everything. Quarterback's
Has
the most
he really
position.
had any really bad games?
Not really. I think he's stellar, man. Man's amazing.
Another thing you need to account for though with Mahomes is the team's defense also has something to do with it, right? They're constantly having to keep up because that defense is horrendous.
But
you take him, put him on a team with an elite defense.
He might still be as good.
Yeah, but is he going to put up the 5,000 yards?
I'm
and 50
not. I'm not
touchdowns?
even talking about the numbers right now. I'm just talking about the way he throws, the way he can sling the ball, from end zone to end zone. That's what you need in a 7-7 playground game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Someone who could throw the ball deep consistently, get matchups up, could take control of the matchups. So you add to that.
So now going to running back wise, we have Saquon Barkley. He's probably had one of the best rookie seasons for a running back
In a while, yeah, for sure.
Only
Since Zeke.
only 2 other running backs have had 2,000 scrimmage yards, and I feel like what goes unnoticed is that he never really fumbles. He never fumbled since college, or even I think it was high school. I don't even know when he last fumbled. That's a big
Exactly. Yeah.
That's a big factor to consider for turnover wise, and in terms of 7-on-7 wise, he's a dual threat. He could receive or run with it, and yet he breaks tackles so easily.
Yeah, exactly.
It always takes at least 2 people, and the first tackle almost never gets him.
That's what I was but you sold me on him that's true. You can't tackle that guy. He's a beast.
And think about it, when he played with the Giants, he always had to start at a deficit, but then he still would make it.
Get the yards. He would still get the yards. Exactly.
Because he would always make the first person miss, usually maybe the second one, and he might make a highlight, jump over somebody, do a stiff arm spin move.
And OBJ, his teammate, probably the best hands in the league.
Yeah, for sure.
One-handed catches, nobody can match that.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So, having him on a team, just Mahomes just throwing up
I think
to him.
Jarvis Landry has some similar hands.
Yeah, but
OBJ.
If we're being honest.
Yeah, but OBJ, one-handed catches, he's known for that.
And what about he could turn a small play into
Exactly, that's what he does.
touchdown.
Throw a little slant to him, and then he's out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
remember
and he could throw it too.
Yeah,
that was
he
a
could throw it
broken
too.
play
So
against the Bears.
When we're playing 7-on-7, do a trick
He did a
play.
little shuffle, threw it 40 yards.
Yeah, we'll do a little trick play on you, get OBJ throwing the ball. And then another receiver we have, who's a speedster, Tyreek Hill. That man's fast.
And let's not forget about his chemistry with Mahomes.
Exactly.
Once he throws that deep ball, it's peace. He throws at the peace sign.
Exactly. This year he had over about 30 yards, 30 catches over 20 yards. So I feel that's pretty impressive.
Is he the fastest player in the league?
But
I think
the
so.
only knock against Tyreek Hill is, and don't get me wrong, Mahomes carried my fantasy team this season. So I have nothing but love for Tyreek Hill. But he's he's an all or nothing type of player, right? He's not going to have your typical. He's not going to have your 10 catches for however many yards. He's all or nothing.
I know, but
he's more of a 5 for 175, and 2 of them are touchdowns.
I agree. So with our team, right?
We made it so
if we have Julio, Hopkins, and OBJ running proper routes,
we don't really need.
We could get Hill going deep every time.
Exactly.
Eventually, he'll be open. Mahomes will sling it to him.
We try to consider the team dynamic as well.
So you think about that, and then onto our next receiver, Julio Jones. Man, that man's a beast.
Yeah.
He didn't have the touchdowns.
He finally remember how to find the end zone.
He didn't have the touchdown production this year, but he still led the league in yards.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's pretty impressive.
So another volatile player though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but
so is AB.
What's volatile about AB?
He's off the field.
We're talking about on the field.
No, but even Brown, he hasn't had the best season this year. Juju's had a better season this year. Numbers
he was named the team MVP.
You can't Julio.
But game in and game out though, AB is going to produce.
So you know that with Julio too.
No, you don't.
Yeah, you do. And they had an injured running back this year, so their offensive balance was different. But Julio, he was clearly consistent this year because he led the league in yards. He didn't have the touchdown production, but he still got the yardage.
Okay.
He still put up
our
stats.
team, I feel that's going to be useful because we have Hopkins and OBJ that find the end zone.
But if you look at the number of duds that OBJ put up this season, the number of 2-3 catch games.
Yeah, for sure.
That's also because now they have Barkley and the line and quarterback play wasn't there.
But see, we're trying to keep Hopkins is probably gonna be our number 1 receiver, and then Julio's gonna be 2, and then OBJ and Hill are a big threat players, who can make a little play into a big play, and then Hopkins, he had 0 drops this year.
Yeah. He has some of the best hands in the NFL
exactly.
too.
You can't stop that man.
He's super consistent as well.
And with that offense, they have no weapons, and he's still you know
how many quarterbacks he played with, and he still produces.
Yeah, Hopkins is gonna get the ball, but you still can't stop him.
Yeah, Hopkins
doesn't matter what situation he's in, he's still gonna get.
No, you're saying our players are just on the team.
Hopkins is definitely he's your strongest receiver.
You're saying our players have they're the only players on our team, and that's why they put up numbers. But then again, defenses know it's going to them, but they still can't stop them.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So Julio, he's the only option, but he's still putting up numbers. Hopkins, he's the only option, but he's still putting up numbers. So that's crazy. And then Zach Ertz, he's Mr. Reliable. You know how you're a Cowboys fan, right? You remember Jason Witten?
I do remember Jason Witten.
Mr. Reliable. You know who just beat his record for most catches in the season? Say it. I want to hear it.
Who won the division though? Division champs.
But
it has nothing to do with it. I know we're getting kind of a little off topic, but if you're so reliable, why did you win the division? Why did you barely sneak into the playoffs?
We're in, right? That's all that matters.
For real.
If you want to talk about players having an impact on their team, we could do that. Let's talk about Drew Brees, number 1 seed in the NFC. Let's talk about Todd Gurley. His team is number 2 seed in the NFC.
Yeah, so our players, Mahomes, Hopkins got into the playoffs.
Barkley and OBJ sitting at home watching the playoffs. Julio sitting at home
There's
watching the playoffs.
Who's their quarterback?
Hopkins
though?
is now sitting at home watching the playoffs.
Where
was Hopkins
Thielen
last
and Adams
week?
are sitting at home too.
Yeah.
They are.
With Adams,
Browns didn't even make it to Brown.
Adams
Brown
has maybe the best quarterback on his team.
Wait, listen. The football is more of a team sport than individual.
Exactly.
So
I
don't say just because one team's in the playoffs.
Okay.
I don't even want to talk about that because I feel like that's irrelevant in football.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, why do you play the game? Why do you
why
do you spend so much money on your Hopkinses and your OBJs?
But it's a process. You can't. It's not an overnight thing. Barkley's a rookie, and then Zach. Well, let me finish on Zach Ertz. I feel like reliable hands. You could trust him when you need him to. Nick Foles, Carson Wentz, they just throw it up to him and he catches it. And I feel like all our options are weapons, but they're reliable.
Right.
They're all reliable.
Yeah, they're all
for the most part. Where was Hopkins last week in the playoffs when it mattered?
He had his moments, but that coach defense had him locked, but he still caught his catches, and then Deshaun couldn't get the
imagine that fourth down and the ball was placed terribly.
Okay, Hopkins was say that again.
On the fourth down, right before the half, they were almost about to score their first touchdown.
Yeah.
That ball was placed terribly.
Yeah, but I think he had 5 catches. He probably had 70 yards or so. So it's a average game, but
yeah.
Okay.
I'm saying that there's a lot of like I said, by far you guys have the flashier team. If we were playing a game of Madden or whatever,
we'd win.
By far, I don't know about that. But
by far,
that's a whole different story. I got my controller over there, But sorry, my voice cracked. That's weird. But yeah, I'm just saying. My case is you guys have the far flashier team, but also much more boom or bust team. I would run this lineup out against any other 7 in the NFL.
I don't know.
On Sunday,
and hopefully your viewers that are voting on this know football. And,
All right, we'll see. We'll
reliable,
leave reliable,
but then it just one mistake, one thing.
I think you can say that about any player on any team in any sport.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty fair matchup because obviously we went back and forth. So obviously it has to be for the most part 50-50. But the only thing I say for us is we have that big playability. You have that. You'll probably get let's compare this to football, basketball. Okay. You got the 2-pointers, we got the 3-pointers. And we'll leave it at that. So let's move on to the next subject.
So now we're going to talk about some of our reactions to the NFL wildcard playoffs. First game up, Colts versus Texans.
That was a game?
That's what I'm saying. I feel like
it was on TV, but I don't know if it was a game.
That Texans offense didn't show up at all. They were nowhere to be seen.
I was banking on them too, man. I was
they're at home. Yeah.
Travis Scott came out pre-game. He was hyping the crowd up. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think the Colts dominated them. Offensive line, defensive line, they dominated them.
And Quentin Nelson was throwing people like ragdolls.
Yeah, and that's really saying a lot. That speaks a lot to their line because I mean, that front seven in Houston, that's, not a front seven you ever want to face.
Yeah.
Right? And then, Mac setting a playoff record, 148, rushing yards, a team record, I should say.
Exactly, yeah.
On 24 carries.
Exactly, that's crazy.
There's some running
6
backs.
yards?
Yeah, I mean, there's some running backs that you give them 24 carries, he might not put up 100 yards.
Exactly.
And against that defense, like I said,
Yeah, you
all
can,
around.
no, but like when you're watching the game, you could see the offense open up holes for
Yeah.
them. Like he had like wide open holes that us three could run through and get like
no,
not
I don't know about you.
No,
but
no.
I don't know about
I feel like Savan could definitely see through a hole.
No, but we could average 3 yards. We could average at least 3 yards with those holes.
And
So
0 sacks.
yeah, they didn't allow us
know,
to
Crazy.
We know
Watt, Clowney.
Yeah,
Andrew Luck for years has been known as like the ragdoll of like the NFL.
and that was Deshaun Watson this year.
yeah. So I mean, it's more so Eli Manning, but
I don't know about that.
but yeah, no, I mean, definitely, domination both sides of the ball by Indy, and I'm looking forward to that Luck Mahomes matchup.
Yeah,
That's
but I also feel like the Texans were like you could tell they were hurt on offense. They didn't have Will Fuller, Demarius Thomas was out, so I feel like that played a pretty big role too.
Yeah, and they didn't have the ball. They had the ball for 28 minutes.
Yeah,
And
no.
Watson could never
Yeah.
really get going. That was the biggest loss, I think, since like high school that he had, right?
Yeah.
He
Oh,
always
yeah,
lost the
yeah,
game, but
Never
usually
by that much.
By one touchdown, never by
Yeah.
that much.
I think the main takeaway from that game is you give Andrew Luck that much time with the ball,
He's gonna make some.
and they
Always
give,
gonna
and they
make the
give him
plays.
that much time in the pocket to make plays. That is the result you're going to get 11 times out of 10.
Exactly.
Okay,
It's
okay.
going to happen.
But nobody talks about like Andrew Luck as a top quarterback. So I got a question for you guys.
Yeah, yeah.
Is he slept on?
Oh yeah,
He
without a
slept on. He
doubt.
slept on.
Yeah, I think he's like a top
Especially with these
7 quarterback, top 5 quarterback.
I think top 7.
He's up there. He's up there for sure. But like everyone like forgot about him after his injury last year. But he's in the
Yeah.
MVP conversation.
I agree because if you take him off that team, where
They're
are the
not
Colts?
exactly.
Yeah,
They did horrible last year.
They weren't even protected like in the beginning of the season. Who knew?
Yeah, they everyone slept on him, and
Exactly.
that's why they're like the sleeper team of this year. And that's gonna be a good
strong
game.
push at the end.
The next matchup, the Seahawks and Cowboys.
How about them Cowboys?
That's why I wanted you on this week. Cowboys
Yeah,
came
yeah.
off a good win.
That was a good game.
Yeah, definitely. I'm not gonna say I'm surprised about how we played, but our defense definitely had a challenge coming into this week. Right?
Yeah.
For sure.
I heard a stat that Russell Wilson had a perfect passer rating on deep passes to Tyler Lockett this season.
For real.
So perfect passer rating, I believe, is 158.3. A perfect passer rating.
That's crazy.
Which is, I didn't think it was real when I heard it.
Yeah.
But it was. But I want to talk about that a little bit because, like, when you texted me and told me the topics you were going to go over, I was excited to talk about this.
Yeah.
So, like I said, stopping that Wilson to Lockett connection was something that had to be our main focal point going into the game.
Yeah.
But I also feel like stopping the run was too because they were the number one rushing team.
rushing
Yeah,
team.
they are. Yep, they were. But the thing with them is they were the number one rushing team, but it's also a 2-3 headed attack. There's not, so that
One
makes it
guy,
hard because
yeah.
it's not one running back that you have to game plan for. It's 3.
Exactly,
and they
so it
all do
makes it harder,
something
yeah.
different, right? Carson is your finesse, your flashy.
Mike
Get out of
Davis
open
is
space.
the-
Davis is the
big guy,
batting ram.
yeah.
He's going, he's going to run you over. So I think that speaks even more to how we played, having to stop that potent passing attack. I mean, they have a playground style, attack through the air, and then having to stop that 3-headed monster at running back. I was impressed. Honestly, I was impressed. Even as a fan, I was impressed. But like I said, the chemistry between Wilson and Lockett, it just wasn't there. Baldwin had that great catch, but too little, too late.
Yeah.
And our defense really stepped up in a big way. Awuzie, Van Der Ash, that D-line played amazing.
Jalen Smith,
Uh-huh.
Lawrence.
Keeping Wilson under pressure all game.
Yeah.
It was huge.
Yeah.
We need to replicate that against the Rams.
I think if you're a Seahawks fan and then like anybody rooting for the Seahawks, the main question is why did Wilson not throw more?
Yeah, I was disappointed too. Like
Yeah.
I wanted he's Super Bowl MVP quarterback.
I mean, but when you give a team time to prepare for, listen, they do one thing and they do one thing well, right? I mean, I coached football for a little bit, so I'm a film nut. So Seattle has this passing concept they like to run. It's called the smash concept, where your outside receiver runs a hitch and then your slot receiver runs a corner. That's their bread and butter. That's their go-to. That's the one thing we have to prepare for and stop. And if you go back and look at the tape, Lockett had maybe 1 or 2. His big play at the end where he put them down when he put them down in the red zone. That they completed successfully then, but that was the only time during that game. I mean, if you really go back and look, how many deep shots is he taking to Baldwin? How many deep shots is he taking to anybody else?
No, but like then again, he's a Super Bowl MVP quarterback.
Yeah,
one of the top quarterbacks in the league, and like
they continue to run it same time.
Exactly, like like in the regular season it worked, but this is a playoffs. Like you gotta make adjustments, and those are the teams that win.
Yeah.
Like throughout the game, I saw him running it first down, second down, 3rd and 8, and then they pass.
You think
it.
that's Pete Carroll's fault?
I think so. And
Do you
like,
think Pete Carroll's gone next season?
No,
I don't think he's gone. You can't get rid
think
of
so?
him. Yet.
Nobody expected them to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry.
Oh no, but like I feel like once you're predictable, like any team would like stop you. Like once they know what you're doing, like it's easy to stop you. And like
You know what
Cowboys
didn't make it easier?
What?
Janikowski.
Oh yeah, he got hurt
the
too.
World War II veteran. Yeah. But are we not going to talk about that botched onside kick attempt?
Yeah, I know.
I don't even know if that was an onside
It was a
kick.
jump. He
That was
did a drop
horrible.
kick. He did
Yeah,
a drop
but
kick.
still,
They
That's
kick it to the
terrible.
receiver with the most reliable hands on
Yeah,
the team.
Exactly. Like
You gotta give
like
yourself at least a small chance.
Kickers have few jobs. Make a kick, be able to kick a kick,
Cody
and like kickers can't do it this year.
Let's not foreshadow. Let's not foreshadow here.
Like kickers can't make kick a proper onside kick. Like it's hard, but like at least kick it so your team has a
Kickers take a
chance.
chance. Like I said,
And another thing I saw, like that came up clutch.
he did.
He did make some big
that run
plays.
at the end. That was big.
It was 3rd and 14, and we were watching the game, and I was like, okay, it's gonna be it's a 3-point game right now. They kick a field goal, another 3-point game, and then we predicted that Russell Wilson's gonna get the ball most likely at the end. And it's gonna come down to his hands and make a clutch play.
Exactly.
But that on that 3rd and 14, that run was pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, my biggest gripe with Dak is, his ability to hit the deep ball, right?
Mm-hmm.
How many times in the Cowboys Philly game did he overshot Amari Cooper on like
for
3
sure.
straight plays?
And then even who's that rookie receiver that you have?
Gallup.
Yeah, he overthrew him 2 times
Gallup.
too. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think the X factor next week against the Rams. I mean, I'm getting a little ahead of myself, but the thought's fresh in my mind. Our X factor isn't going to be Dak's legs. It's going to be his arm.
Mm-hmm,
And the ability to put the ball on Cooper, on Gallup,
You know what
on
else?
Jarwin.
You know what else I think it is? I think it's Jason Garrett. I think he's not able to get out the best of Dak. Cause I think like you see flashes, flashes of him being like an elite quarterback, but then he's average.
No, but a couple of things to that point. I see what you're saying, but A, Garrett can't go on the field and play for him, and B, going back to those overthrown deep shots. I mean, Garrett called the play, he put them in a position. He called a play that got gets Cooper wide open, Gallup wide open. The play design works. It's not the play calling; it's Dak's ability to execute and put the ball in his receivers.
But weren't you trying to? Were you one of the Cowboys fans that wanted Garrett fired midseason?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. I feel
100%.
like if you get a better like offensive mind, like one of the Matt Nagy, Sean McVay, Doug Peterson, like one of those offensive minded coaches, to maximize like his ability, it'll help him out a little more. And like,
But at the end of the day, it's still Prescott that has to go out there on the field and play. And I'm critical of him because I'm a Cowboys fan.
I know, and like you can tell though, I think he could be better for sure. But like he definitely comes up clutch in those clutch moments.
He got the job done.
I feel like when he can run the ball, he comes up better.
Yeah.
So next matchup, the Chargers and Ravens.
Oh man, what was crazy about that? Lamar Jackson and all of his turnovers.
Yeah.
And then how many yards did he have passing at the
Till the third quarter, he had like 40 yards.
That's crazy.
So
I think didn't they have like a net average of like minus 2 yards?
Yeah, it was something like that until like the third quarter.
The defenses in this game are crazy, right?
Yeah, but I don't know, man. You saw how the Chargers game plan for him, that's why I picked the Chargers initially
because it's easier to game plan against
exactly
a
the second
quarterback.
time.
Yeah.
And then the second time around, how he likes it, his tendencies and everything.
The way that they run their offense, we've seen this before, right? That type of offense has an expiration date on it.
Mm-hmm.
We see it with Kaepernick. We see it with RG3.
Chip Kelly did the same
So
thing.
you see it when these trends in the NFL, going all the way back to the Wildcat and the Dolphins, they expire, they run out because you can't give these defensive-minded types of coaches,
enough time to prepare.
Game plan. Exactly,
especially in the playoff matchup.
I think you took the words right out of my mouth. Exactly. I mean, and we saw, even though, they mixed it up, they ran some different formations, some different shifts. It's the core principle of that type of offense. It expires. You can't run it in the NFL.
What the Chargers play with all defensive backs?
Yeah, they play with 7 defensive backs. So
just to stop the run, right?
Exactly, because that's what Lamar Jackson does best. And we said it earlier too. If you could get them behind, they're not going to be able to come back. And we saw that clearly. They weren't able to catch up to them. It caught up to them, the running game.
Yeah, but what if you were Harbaugh? Would you have?
I would have put Flacco in.
Would you have put Flacco in?
I would have put Flacco in.
When would you have put him in?
So we were down. They were down 12-0 at halftime. I would have prepped up. I would have talked to Flacco on the side, let him know maybe you'll get a chance. Give Lamar Jackson one more chance. See if he could get one drive going, and they did it. I would put Flacco in. He's Super Bowl MVP.
I disagree with you.
I disagree as well.
You want to go? Go ahead.
Okay.
Wait, let me make my case first,
Okay,
because then you both are arguing. So let me go first. So I think he's a Super Bowl MVP, and Lamar Jackson's problem was not being able to get the ball out. He got sacked 7 times. He had 3 fumbles, 1 interception, and the defense prepared for Lamar Jackson. And yes, like the offense has to change their scheme and everything, but Flacco was your quarterback earlier this season, so you could make quick adjustments to like where you could not be running that much. And Flacco has the experience to play and break down defenses. He's not an elite quarterback, but he's done it before. And he would have got the ball out quick. He would have been able to throw the deep passes and get them closer quicker instead of...
Would that change the outcome of the game, though?
I don't know.
And plus, but think about the message you're sending to Lamar Jackson by yanking him.
I agree with
this
that.
This is a guy you brought in to be,
The franchise quarterback.
Your quarterback for the future.
Exactly. You need to let him learn through that.
Flacco's clearly not going to be there next season.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Jackson is going to be his guy. I mean, so how do you pull him out of that situation and put Flacco in? If he's going to be your guy, you have to live with him. You have to die with him.
The hardest moments
I know,
is when he's going to learn the most.
Yeah, but like he did enough learning. He got sacked 7 times. You're letting your guy out there get hurt. And you're not like that last second run like they had was mostly because like the Chargers were slaying it off a little.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm giving credit to Lamar Jackson. He had some good throws that fourth quarter, but until then, 40 yards. Like quarterbacks aren't supposed. They're supposed to get that first quarter.
With a player that young and in that type of situation, you have to
let
the
him
big
learn.
Picture. Imagine what that would do to his confidence going into next season. Think about it. If a coach pulls you out of a game, and then the next season he says, "Okay,
you're the guy."
So are you going to want to play for that coach? I mean, when have we ever seen a 2 quarterback system work in the college or the pros? If you look back, go back to even last season. Talking about college football with Alabama. With Jalen Hurts and Tua. Jalen was the guy, and then he pulled him in the championship. Tua came in, won the championship. And then last night, what happens? He pulled Tua, put Jalen, and he got stomped 44-16. I mean,
but they were losing regardless, though.
Yeah, they were. We're not talking we're going to say about that. But it's just, at the end of the day, you have to think big picture. And come on, even if they do pull Lamar and put Flacco in, and they win, are they winning next week?
I see, but at least it gives you another chance. And that's what that's all that matters. Every week is a different matchup. It's 1 week at a time.
So Flacco wins this week. Mm-hmm. They go and they lose next week. Going into the offseason, well,
you're letting go Flacco regardless.
You definitely have to think big picture, though.
But Flacco's out of your long-term picture regardless. They've made that clear this year when they took him out.
So then why?
But this week against the Chargers in the second half, Flacco gives you the best chance to win. And as a coach,
but do we really know that though?
At that time, what I saw from Flacco.
Think about it. How much tape do they have on Lamar Jackson? Not much.
Like 7 weeks.
All right. How much tape do they have on Flacco?
But they didn't study Flacco, though. But they didn't study Flacco, though. So
it throws. Know that. It's the NFL, dude.
I know, but
is the offense accustomed to Flacco?
Yeah.
But you see that. We don't know that. Those are all hypotheticals.
But it's a lot easier. It's a lot easier for a team to go and say, a defensive coordinator say, okay, we've prepared for a mobile quarterback, which took a lot of work. But now all you're saying is go and stop a traditional pro-style NFL quarterback? That's easy.
It's easy, yeah, but you never know. Like, Flacco, he's done it before. He has experience. He could throw. Like, that's what I'm getting at. Like, Lamar Jackson.
They had 7 defensive backs on the field. Who was he throwing against?
So because they did that because they're trying to keep up with Lamar Jackson's speed.
True,
but Flacco's not running on you. Like,
yeah, but, okay, so even still, if they keep those same 7 defensive backs in the game, now...
Those tight ends are going to get catches. And they have 3 stellar tight ends.
So what is he's going to throw it? So that's your formula to win a playoff game for you?
Well, see,
I think either way, they were damned if they did. They were damned if they didn't.
Exactly.
And either if it's going to be a lose-lose, either way, you keep your guy in the game and let him know that you believe in him and you ride him the rest of his career.
Yeah, I guess. But I feel like if he was able to get that win, you give yourself another week in the playoffs. You never know, miracles could happen.
Another week in the playoffs. So now we're hoping for miracles, though.
That's how guys get lucky, right?
All right, let's move on.
Let's move on to the lucky game. Well, not lucky, but you gotta get lucky.
It was lucky. It was all.
I'm not gonna say
it was all.
luck.
It was all luck.
Okay.
It was all luck.
Let me give you guys some stats.
Your defense did
So the Eagles and Bears.
Luck.
You guys are saying it was luck. We didn't allow a sack. Well, we allowed 1 sack. We shut down Mac. Mac had 0 sacks, and then Foles had 2 picks in the first half. But the second half, he looked amazing.
You can't be talking all this without the most important part of the game.
I'll get to that. But before that, you're saying it's luck. But that kicker's has the second most misses in the league. He's hit the pole 4 times in one game. So it's not really luck. Like, he's done it before. 4 times
You
in one
telling
game.
me at that moment you thought you were gonna win the game?
I had a feeling. Like, it was more like 80-20.
After he made the first one and he called the timeout, I think everybody knew he was going to miss.
Because
the
he's
second
missed.
one.
Like, it's not like he's not like a Janikowski. He's not a consistent.
Or like a
Go say your Rosas.
But
Yeah,
let's,
Aldrich
okay,
Rosas,
okay,
yeah.
but let's be honest. Put,
He's
put,
not
put the
Aldrich
fan in your
Rosas.
side. Let's be
Yeah,
honest.
yeah.
Did the Eagles deserve to win that game?
Yeah, for sure.
You think
Deserve
so?
For sure, yeah.
So you're saying they were not outplayed until the fourth quarter?
Were they the better team
We outplayed
for
them
four
in the
quarters?
we outplayed them the whole game. So we made mistakes, but other than that, we should have had a bigger lead in the going. So let me just break it down half. Mitch Trubisky should have had 3 turnovers that we dropped. So we made mistakes.
Luck.
You guys are saying it was luck. We didn't allow a sack. Well, we allowed 1 sack. We shut down Mac. Mac had 0 sacks, and then Foles had 2 picks in the first half. But the second half, he looked amazing.
You can't be talking all this without the most important part of the game.
I'll get to that. But like before that, you're saying it's luck, but like that kicker has the second most misses in the league. He's hit the pole 4 times in one game, so it's not really luck. Like he's done it before, 4 times
You
in one
telling
game.
me at that moment you thought you were gonna win the game?
I had a feeling. Like it was more like 80-20.
After he made the first one and he called the timeout, I think everybody knew he was going to miss.
Because
the
he's
second
missed.
one.
Like it's not like he's not like a Janikowski. He's not a consistent.
Or like a
Go say your Rosas.
But
Yeah,
let's,
Aldrich
okay,
Rosas,
okay,
yeah.
but let's be honest. Put,
He's not
put the
Aldrich
fan in your
Rosas.
side. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Did the Eagles deserve to win that game?
Yeah, for sure.
You think
Deserve
so?
For sure, yeah.
So you're saying they were not outplayed until the fourth quarter?
Were they the better team
We
for
outplayed them
4
in the
quarters?
we outplayed them the whole game. So we made mistakes, but other than that, we should have had a bigger lead in the going. So let me just break it down half. Mitch Trubisky should have had 3 turnovers that we dropped. So we made mistakes, but overall, like we outcoached them. They had 3 points that like one of them was like it was stupid mistakes that we made. So in the second half, when we didn't make those mistakes, we like that caught up to them. They're a younger team, inexperienced, and that caught up to them eventually. Like Bennett, it was a fourth and 5, and they were gonna punt it, but Bennett had a unnecessary contact, which gave 15 points, and that's where they got their first 3 points.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna say like I think we deserve to win that game
I mean,
for sure.
clearly, I don't have much left for the Eagles.
Me neither.
But being unbiased, I think this was the closest matchup. This
Yeah,
weekend.
for
I mean,
sure,
shit,
yeah.
on paper, everything. I mean, you guys were only a 6.5 point underdog going into Soldier Field. I mean, so
It's a tough place to play.
yeah, it is, especially in December.
For
Yeah.
sure.
But it's definitely January right now.
Yeah, but like wintertime.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, you
Play
get what
out.
I'm saying.
The
Yeah.
Eagles definitely played like really a bunch better than we expected them to.
Yeah,
Like,
that's what I'm saying. Like we play like
some
you're-
some unsung players too. Like Golden Tate, he came out
he made
when
that
his
clutch
number was
play.
called. He
yeah,
was clutch.
that's what he was traded for.
That secondary also, Maddox.
Yeah, Maddox came up clutch, but he bid on a couple.
He did.
What's that called? Double.
Double moves.
Double moves,
He got
yeah.
bid on double moves. Yeah.
But like I feel like we outplayed them, but it was closer because of our mistakes. Like we stepped on our own foot, and we're lucky we didn't lose. So I'm saying we're lucky we didn't lose, but we played better than them.
You are lucky because like remember the last throw Mitchell set up for the field goal. He threw it
Yeah.
to Allen Robinson.
Allen Robinson, yeah.
That was a
That was a nice
beautiful
catch.
throw,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like I feel like Mitchell Trubisky looked a lot better in the second half.
I feel like he has a lot to learn, but he's still like a very
Yeah.
solid quarterback.
But I think all things considered, all things being equal, who you guys got, Foles or Wentz?
Wentz.
I got Foles.
What about you?
Can I curse on here?
No.
Yeah.
I have to go. I'm going with Foles.
Okay.
For a couple of reasons. I mean, if we're talking about pure talent, if we're talking about numbers, if we're talking about on paper, obviously
Wentz, yeah.
anybody in their right mind, anybody that has watched the down of football in their life is going to go with Wentz.
Yeah.
But Foles being on that field with that team, it does something. It gives them a juice. It gives
It's
them a
different-
swag.
different
I agree.
They don't
Magic?
they don't have without
Huh?
him.
You say Magic? You
Why?
didn't say that last week. Alright, but okay, continue. Yeah.
I think
Juice, magic, whatever.
And then going back, look no further than last season. Look what his presence did for that team. So when you have a guy that's always that prepared, to come in and win a game for you, I think that's always, give me that guy over the guy on paper any day.
And what are their Pro Football Focus ratings?
So Wentz is at a 79, and they have Foles at a 77. So even the experts,
Pretty close, right?
It's pretty close, yeah.
You know, even the experts, you know, see that there isn't much separation. So if you take those guys that are that even, give me the one that's going to bring the juice and the swag and the energy. You know,
Okay, so let me-
game in and game out.
Okay, go say what you guys say.
So I'm picking Foles as well, mostly because of the energy he brings to the Eagles when he's on the field. I mean, if you just look at their team, I feel like Alshon Jeffrey is more like juiced. Nelson Aguilar, because he spreads the ball around.
Mm-hmm.
Doug
Even his
Peterson,
connection with Golden Tate is so much better.
And Doug Peterson, it feels like he has a different way of coaching Foles versus Wentz, which is more better for winning. I mean,
Yeah, because think about it. Naturally, when you have a quarterback or any player that has a history of injuries, you know, especially knee injuries,
Yeah.
you're gonna coach more conservatively with them, right? So I think it does. You're right. To your point, it does change the play call a little bit. It gives them that edge.
Okay, so let me make my case for Wentz. So, like you said with the Lamar Jackson and Flacco picture, right? You gotta look for the bigger picture.
Mm-hmm.
So, 10 years from now, I'd rather have Wentz over Foles. So that's one thing.
Right.
But like right now, if you look at last year and this year, like Wentz was an MVP this year, but last year when you look at him, like the first 10 games up to the Rams game, he looked much better than Foles did in the playoffs. Like he looked much better than Foles did in the playoffs. Like he put
Foles
up,
had only like that one game against the Vikings.
yeah,
where
and
he,
that
like,
was
torched
well.
them.
He went off against the Patriots too. Don't forget that.
That's it.
But
There was also some
even
turnovers,
even
yeah.
this year, like when you're looking at him play, he's not putting up crazy numbers. He's just getting them by. We won by 1 point last week. The 2 games he played in the beginning, he didn't have like a great. We lost to the Buccaneers.
But is that him or your defense though?
Yeah.
So like, and you
I mean,
guys, but
I mean, any coach that loses to the Buccaneers deserves to be fired. I mean,
Well, I don't know
to be
about
honest.
Fitz magic.
and then you guys are saying how like the players play better around them. You could see that a little, but like when Wentz was in, even against the Cowboys in the game after that and the game before that,
What happened in that Cowboys game?
we
Yeah.
lost in the Cowboys in overtime because you guys chewed the clock like crazy. So credit to
So
you,
that's against the Wolves to chew the
credit
clock.
to you. But like that team was coming together at the right time. We were clicking at the right time. After the Saints lost, we were clicking, and unfortunately Wentz got out. And it happened to be Foles is in, and that defense looks better. But that defense was coming to its own. Those young cornerbacks were coming to their own. So it might look like Foles is better, but I'd definitely go with
So
Wentz.
you're saying Wentz is better, but who's more clutch?
Foles right now because we haven't seen Wentz in the playoffs. And I also think
See,
it's
that's
a
why,
little
that's
bit.
why I think we're picking Foles because we're going with
It's also on Doug Peterson a little because I
whoever's
feel
more
like
clutch.
when Foles is in, he simplifies the offense. He doesn't make it like complicated. Like
That's how you just got to go for the win, no matter
yeah,
how
I know.
you get
And
there.
I
It
feel
doesn't
like
matter.
I feel like he should do that with Wentz. Run the ball, have a balanced offense. Yes, Wentz goes to the Ertz a lot, but he also targets the other players like he did last year. This year he relied on Ertz more because offensive line wasn't clicking in the beginning. Jason Peters was hurt. Kelsey was in and out. Lane Johnson was there, but everyone else was in and out. And the defense is looking much better right now. So like I see where you guys are coming from, but I definitely ride with Wentz.
Good point.
So now let's talk about this week's matchups. On Saturday we have Colts versus the Chiefs, and then followed by Cowboys versus
How
Rams.
about them?
Let's talk about Colts. Let's talk about Colts and Chiefs first. Like, I mean, who you guys?
I
Who you
mean,
guys got?
wait, who do I have? We're doing projections now.
Or
Yeah, well, you could
just
say
it.
it,
Okay,
We'll
well,
say it
I'll
both.
save that for because with this game, I mean, I think
Yeah.
the entire country is going to be tuning into Luck versus Mahomes. I mean, that's what this game is really going to come
Yeah,
down
the young
to, right?
quarterbacks.
Yeah, it's going to be quarterback versus quarterback, weapons versus weapons. You know, it's
Agree,
going
I
to be
agree.
Hill versus Hilton. I mean, that's going to be a fun matchup.
Yeah.
I mean, looking at it right now, just give me a second here.
Yeah.
I mean, the Chiefs are 5-point home favorites, which being in Arrowhead,
It's
you
a
know,
different
it's
atmosphere.
this game is going to be close.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a high scoring game. It's going to be a lot to watch. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Is there something to be said about Andy Reid and his coaching in the playoffs, success and failures?
What about technically? Is Andy Reid coming off a bye too?
Yeah.
Just think
Off
about
a
that.
bye.
He's really good off the bat.
I mean,
He's really
let's not
good off
forget
the bye,
that.
yeah.
But I don't know. Like he hasn't had that playoff success. Like he's only been to one Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So that's one more thing. But
I mean,
that's gonna be a good game, man.
Really good game.
Like
call me crazy. I might be rolling with the Colts in this one, man.
I wouldn't be surprised.
That's not my official prediction, but I mean, because let's be logical about it, right?
Yeah.
Look at what that offensive line did to Houston's front seven.
yeah.
They dominated them up and down the
Compare
field.
Houston's defense to the
To
Chiefs.
That's
The
exactly
Chiefs'
what I was
defense
getting
is
at.
chips.
Yeah, that's like they're playing a JV team this
But you
week.
know what else
I mean,
it is? I would, like last week before I was looking at the rookie quarterback records or first time quarterback records debuts. It's like 4 and like 100 something, like
Right.
first time quarterbacks playing in the first playoff game.
So
And
they
you can't
usually-
forget Patrick Mahomes is his first time in
Practically a
playoffs.
rookie, right?
Right.
So like you got to
I mean,
take that into account too.
What
History's not on his side.
What this game is going to come down to is Luck's ability to keep up with Mahomes because they're going to put up points.
I think
There's
agree.
no doubt about that.
I don't think this game's gonna be hard to watch. It's gonna be like
Yeah, it's
flashy.
going to be a back and forth. It's going to be a shootout.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
we're going to be watching a shootout. You know, come Saturday afternoon.
And I don't think the Colts want that.
No, they don't. But
I feel like they're gonna try to run the ball more and try to control time of possession,
Yeah.
instead of giving like what we do with Brady. Don't put Brady on the field. Keep
Right.
Mahomes out the field.
Right.
Exactly.
But I mean, I just Ty needs to have a Ty game. You know, he needs to
Yeah.
have like 8 catches for like 150, something
Ebron
like that.
has to have catches.
You know,
Mac has to go off again.
has to pound the rock.
As long as Luck has time behind the line, I think he'll find his.
Yeah,
find
he'll
his
break
receivers.
that defense.
Yeah.
And I feel like that defense is gonna have a big role too. Like you got to be able to like throw different things at Mahomes, so he's not looking at the same thing and be able to tear you
Yeah,
apart.
I just don't know if they have the talent in that secondary to contain Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, but I feel like
I-
you could like double him occasionally and then double Kelsey occasionally. Like that's what I think if they mix it up and get Mahomes a little rattled.
Yeah, but think about what Tyreek did to some of the elite defenses.
Yeah,
in this
exactly.
league. Let's go back to that classic Monday night Rams Chiefs game.
Oh,
He
man.
torched that.
But I also
secondary.
feel like the Rams defense has been overrated this year. So like I'm not like
Yeah, but it's still.
It has.
I mean, they're still a top 5 defense.
yeah
in the league.
debatable, but I think they're overrated. Like if you look at the stats, their numbers aren't up there.
Okay, never mind.
I'm just saying their numbers aren't up there like this year. You can look that up if you want, but
Yeah, I'm typing
Yeah.
away as we speak.
and then like I feel like that defense, like if they could hold up like Mahomes to like say like 20, like he's been averaging like they haven't. I don't think they scored under 24 this year. So if they could hold him to 24, I think Luck could get 25.
You think so?
Yeah, I think. But like I don't want to make an official prediction yet either. Like I'm gonna say that. Like I gotta think about that. Like
I think.
who do you got?
No, I'm not gonna say who I have, but I think it's gonna be a lot of points on.
It's
the
gonna
board.
be a close game for sure.
You said
like,
24. I think it's gonna be like in the 30s.
30s, yeah, he could. Yeah, well, like I'm just saying, like they've been averaging 24. So if you can
okay,
stop
okay,
them to like
yeah.
24, I think Luck could score a little more than 25.
I think Andrew Reid off the bye and then Mahomes with Kelsey Hill.
Yeah, but I don't like that number one like rookie quarter like
Yeah,
not
but
rookie
this
but
is a
like
different-
first
this is a
time
different quarterback though.
It is, but like first time
He's special.
defense,
Yeah.
first time quarterback. I mean, I don't like that. So
I mean,
I'm-
just to my point, Pro Football Focus as of yesterday
secondary.
has.
I'm talking about their whole defense. Yeah,
I
okay,
know.
okay.
We're,
Okay.
But my point was to the secondary.
Oh, okay. See, I didn't hear you.
The
There.
6th ranked secondary.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And Hill torched them. Where's Indianapolis on this list?
But also, I'm pretty sure Talib didn't play that game.
He did. He was still injured.
He was injured, right? Yeah.
You're
Okay.
looking at Indy with a number 15 defense. I mean, that's going to be.
It's gonna be a
this
good
is gonna
game
be a fun
though.
to
Yeah.
watch.
Where's the Chiefs defense ranked in that Chiefs
I mean,
secondary?
scroll all the way down to the bottom.
Gotta be low.
They are.
You could be like a stat boy. I'm just joking, man. You could be a stat man. Oh, they're 17.
17. They're like
So they're both
middle of the road.
yeah, average.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the next matchup.
Saturday
The
night.
Cowboys. My bad. The Cowboys against the Rams.
Oh man.
So who do you got? You're not gonna talk about it.
In
No, you
LA.
guys can go ahead. I'll say
Alright.
mine.
All right, so that's gonna be a really good game.
Yeah.
Cowboys defense is looking really good. Hot recently. Dak's looking good. Zeke's been
Especially, yeah.
eating with 2 spoons.
Tuesday. that's not. I don't know. Giving too much juice, but yeah.
Cooper's been their big three's
The big
coming up.
three's been coming
yeah,
up big,
their
yeah.
offensive line is better.
Yeah.
And then the Rams though, like
Yeah.
Showtime, LA. I don't know. They were in the Rams though, like
Yeah.
Showtime, LA. I don't know. They were in the beginning.
They were. I feel like it's gonna come down to the quarterback play, because I feel like
Yeah.
there's enough weapons on both sides.
Both sides.
To make it fairly even. But the Cowboys defense is definitely better than the Rams defense.
Yeah,
It's just a matter of how well they play at LA.
but stopping Aaron Donald's gonna be tough too. He leads the league in sacks, and I feel like Ndamukong Suh hasn't been showing up this year,
But in
but
playoff games, he'll
he
show
should.
up maybe.
Yeah, hopefully he should
Yeah.
like be able to like take some edge off of him. So when they double Aaron Donald, like Sue could get a couple hits on Dak.
You think Goff has to play really well?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
The key to this game, especially for Dallas, is
Time possession.
going to be not so much that, but it's going to be keeping Dak off the turf. I mean, keeping him
Yeah,
upright,
keeping upright, yeah.
keeping him in the pocket. Like you said, going back to Aaron Donald, he's. We talk about MVP candidates. He's my MVP candidate for this
Yeah,
season.
he's up there, yeah.
I mean, he's
up
number
there.
one across the board, almost any statistical category we look at. So, like I said, just keeping him off of Dak is going to be vital.
But that line could do it, though.
Yeah, and we can. I mean, Martin's a little banged up. We have a few banged up guys
Tyron
on
Smith's
that
coming
line.
off an injury, too,
Yeah,
right?
he is. So, so Dak is going to be the wild card in this game. He is going to be, we know Zeke's going to do what Zeke's going to do.
Of course.
Instead of, 25 for, 130, he might have 15 for like 105
Yeah.
or whatever,
Very good,
with a touchdown. Cooper and Gallup are going to be huge. It just all comes down to Dak putting the ball on the receivers. Like I was saying earlier, Garrett's going to put them in a position to do so. It's just a matter of execution.
I think if the Rams get off to like a say 14-0 lead,
I think it's over.
I don't think Cowboys are coming
Yeah,
back.
no, we have to get out.
You have to
punch
keep
them
up
in the
with this
mouth
one.
early.
Yeah, you have to keep
We
up
have
with
to-
that.
We have to come out. We have to get
it's
the
going to come down to
momentum.
Dak too, because
Yeah.
Dak's not always the offensive.
Yeah, because I feel like they rely on Zeke a lot, and if
Yeah.
that run defense could neutralize Zeke, it's
Yeah.
gonna be a tough game for you guys. It's
For
gonna be a
sure.
tough
But
night.
also, I mean, I have all the confidence in the world in our defense this week, though.
Yeah.
I mean, we have to stop. We have to stop Gurley. We have to
Robert
stop.
Woods.
We have to stop Woods.
Woods.
I'm not
Brandon
too worried
Cooks.
about Woods. I'm more worried about Cooks, Brandon Cook, and Tucker. I'm more worried about those 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. We don't have to worry about Cup.
Yeah, that was a big
So,
injury on them too.
that's for sure. And we all know Gurley isn't 100%.
I don't know.
And
I don't know. I think he is. I think they
But
just rested
let's
him.
say he is 100%. I mean, let's
Maybe he's just not taking it as hard.
Let's look back at week 17, right? Now, we didn't completely shut down Saquon, but we contained him.
Yeah.
He didn't have a Saquon type game.
Yeah.
If we can contain that type of running game.
But Gurley's a different animal, man.
So you're saying
Gurley's better than Zeke.
Gurley's better.
I mean, not Zeke,
better
but-
than
No, he's
Barkley.
not.
Yeah, I think
No,
he
he's
is.
not.
So why did you pick Barkley and not Gurley?
Because you took Gurley. I would have taken Gurley.
I think Barkley's better for the fact that he could receive as well.
You got a bias.
But either way,
I'm just saying.
But
You
either
gotta buy
way,
his
we're
opinion.
I don't
looking
got
at
no bias.
they're both elite
Yeah,
running
okay,
backs.
they're both
Yeah.
elite running backs.
They could easily. We can make a case that they could easily be number 1 and 2 in the league.
I agree.
Right. So if we can, I'm not saying we're going to shut down Gurley. We just have to contain him, and by that I mean keep him to less than 200 yards rushing.
But also that Cowboys defense, when they were worrying about Barkley, they were only worrying about Barkley. OBJ wasn't playing that game.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
He wasn't playing that game, so
Well,
that was
we
another
tried Ingram.
factor.
He's-
Ingram isn't.
He got in the end zone.
He did, but
Shepard.
those weapons that the Giants have aren't the same as the weapons the Rams have. That quarterback isn't the same.
When
quarterback.
OBJ's not there, I agree.
That offensive line isn't the same either. I feel like the Rams have the edge.
The offensive lines are nowhere near comparable.
Yeah, I feel like the Rams have an edge in everything. Maybe not the running back position. Maybe like they're 1A, 1B. Maybe, but everything else, I feel like they're much better in each position, and that's a lot more weapons to stop.
Yeah, we have to. We didn't really do a great job of this against the Giants. We did a better job of it against
The Saints.
against
Yeah,
but it's just the defense. Has to bring pressure. We have to be aggressive.
yeah.
We have to keep Goff uncomfortable. We
See,
cannot let him settle in.
I think that's the key. Because
You gotta get
when
Goff uncomfortable.
when Chicago beat Rams, Eagles beat the Rams in the last 2 weeks when Goff wasn't looking good, it's because he was under pressure, he was rattled, and that it gets in his head. I think
He likes throwing the deep ball.
The point is, for the Cowboys, it's simple. Keep Goff under pressure. Keep him uncomfortable.
and slow down Zeke.
Keep the
Slow
ball.
down Gurley.
And then when we do have the ball, Dak has to do what we need him to do.
Yeah.
He just have to come up big in the fourth.
That's it. It's simple.
All right. So Sunday matchup: Chargers and Patriots. That's a good. I think that's a good
That's
one
a good
too.
game too. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but I feel like Rivers always loses against Brady, right?
Yeah, he's like 0-7 against
and
him.
the last time they placed in the playoffs was in 2008, and he lost.
But Rivers, he's one of those guys that when it comes playoff time, he's not somebody you want to face.
He has a chip
Yeah.
on his
I
shoulder.
mean, going into last weekend, now it stands that he's 4-0 in the wild card in his career.
Yeah.
That's not easy to do. A lot of quarterbacks
Definitely
don't even
not.
get to the wild card
Yeah.
round. Don't make it to the playoffs 4 times.
Exactly.
So he has that postseason pedigree to go toe to toe with Brady. Now, he's not Brady.
It's a different Brady?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But that's gonna be an interesting matchup.
Yeah.
And that defense is a lot better too. And the key to stopping Brady in every year is to get to him as well. And
Right.
that defense can do with
Yeah.
Melvin Ingram, how he performed last week.
Right.
Joey Bosa didn't have the best game, but he still
He did.
rattled Lamar Jackson last week.
Right. But
So
it's
if-
Lamar Jackson.
Yeah. So if those
Sad
two
topic.
edge rushers could get to Brady, I think they could potentially win that game.
Yeah,
But
and let's not forget let's not forget about that running game either.
yeah, Melvin Ingram
Ooh,
and
yeah.
maybe Hunter
Eckler.
Henry might be back.
I'm talking about the Pats.
Oh,
running
the pass running game.
James
It has
White.
James White, Sony
Bur-
Michelle.
Burkhead is finally,
Yeah.
back up
Yeah.
and running healthy, and Cordell
Brady?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But that's gonna be an interesting matchup.
Yeah.
And that defense is a lot better too. And the key to stopping Brady in every year is to get to him as well. And
Right.
that defense can do with
Yeah.
Melvin Ingram how he performed last week.
Right.
Joey Bosa didn't have the best game, but he still
He did.
rattled Lamar Jackson last week.
Right. But
So
it's
if-
Lamar Jackson.
Yeah. So if those
Sad
two
topic.
edge rushers could get to Brady, I think they could potentially win that game.
Yeah,
But
and let's not forget let's not forget about that running game either.
yeah, Melvin Ingram
Ooh,
and
yeah.
maybe Hunter
Eckler.
Henry might be back.
I'm talking about the Pats.
Oh,
running
the pass running game.
James
It has
White.
James White, Sony
Bur-
Michelle.
Burkhead is finally, back up
Yeah.
and running healthy, and Cordell Patterson.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
they have I think, Belichick is his calling card. What he's known for is taking away what you do best.
Yeah.
Melvin Gordon is not going to have a good game.
But then again, they got
Keenan Allen is
Yeah,
going.
but they have other weapons.
Keenan Allen is going to get shut down.
Yeah, I know.
We
I
know
agree.
that.
Mhm.
I
So
agree with
going
that.
to those other pieces, what do they do? What do those young other pieces, those role players do up in Foxborough in
And
the
where-
January
very
playoff game?
tough.
Where
Very
it's really
tough.
tough to beat Brady. Brady, I don't think he's lost. They haven't lost this year in
No.
Foxborough. So
You
I
can
mean,
never really count them out.
Yeah, they're always in
Especially-
it.
Especially
I
if
mean,
they're
looking
playing
at
Yeah.
what Vegas thinks.
Yeah.
What is it? The Pats are a 4-point home favorite. So it's gonna be a close game. I'm excited to see who from LA. I almost said San Diego. I'm not gonna lie. Who from LA is going to step
Step
up
up,
and
yeah.
do what?
Maybe Mike Williams?
Tyrell Williams. I was about to say Tyrell. Just to have a big game. I draft him every year last just to say I have him on my team. He's the GOAT. But I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be a fun game to watch.
Yeah.
Alright. And then Sunday's game, the Eagles Saints.
I thought the Saints were on the bye.
I thought they said Toronto Pine too. I
Basically
thought
the
they had a
same
ticket to the NFC
Keep hating.
Championship.
Keep
I mean,
sleeping,
we
keep
have.
hating.
We have to talk.
I don't
about
know,
it,
man.
but-
This game might have to have a botched punt and a botched field goal just for the Eagles to win. I don't know, man.
We're the Giants.
You're gonna
right
need Drew Brees to triple.
We're not
rope
talking
and
about the
shoot
Giants,
it.
so, but let's not forget where this game is at. It's in New Orleans in the Dome.
Yeah,
I feel like Drew Brees' offense is always electric.
The Superdome is like the Coors Field in the NFL. You guys get the reference, right?
Yeah,
Coors
yeah.
Field in baseball. It's like, teams naturally play better there. So I think Foles is going to be forced to keep up, put points up on the board.
And I don't know if the Eagles
But-
have weapons to do that.
But Drew Brees in New Orleans, I'd rather go up to Foxborough and play Brady.
Okay, wait. I'll get to you. But your point about Eagles not having weapons, do you not see the receivers?
That's why he's saying you guys don't have weapons.
I don't know, man. You guys
Are they
clearly,
comparable to Thomas?
Yeah,
and,
I
Kamara?
think. Okay, so let me name the receivers the Saints have.
Ted Ginn,
Okay.
Traquan Smith.
Traquan.
Okay, and
They have
who-
Ben Watson at tight end.
Ben Watson hasn't been performing. Traquan has after that he had 2 good games, and then since week I think 13
But
it
the
is.
type of
Wait, but
offensive-
let me state my case.
Yeah.
Since week 10 or week 13 or 10 to 13, he had a good week. After that, he's only had 10 catches. So he hasn't been performing. Ted Ginn's been out for most of the season. He's coming back right now,
All right, but
so
Mike
he's not
Thomas,
healthy.
how
Okay,
good
Mike
is he as a
Wallace,
receiver?
Mike Thomas is really good.
Top 5?
Yeah, top
Okay,
5.
and Kamara.
So
top
Kamara's
5?
top 5. Yeah.
So you have 2 top 5
that's
weapons.
it. 2 weapons.
You
If
can't
could-
say that that's it. Weapons. It's
You
still-
guys have.
You gotta consider Drew Brees as a weapon too.
Okay.
Yeah, the Eagles
Drew Brees
have,
is a weapon.
I
the
think-
Eagles have a higher number of. That what they call them weapons. I would call them pieces.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The
I
Saints
think-
have weapons.
But I think we have enough
you got
on
ammo.
the defensive
you
end.
got ammo, but they got weapons.
I think we
You
have
can't
enough.
go to a gunfight with a knife.
I think we have
Exactly.
enough to stop. I think we have enough to stop him.
But the thing is, it's at New
But
Orleans.
it's
so if the-
different.
I don't think that matters.
Say the Saints get the ball first.
Yo.
They score in like a couple plays on the first
a
drive.
1-point slugfest in Soldier Field is a lot different. A lot different
listen,
Exactly.
than a
I know.
shootout in the Superdome.
But listen,
Stopping
so,
Metro Trubisky is
listen.
much easier than
I'll just
stopping Drew
I'll just go
Brees.
back to last year when we were playing the Vikings when they were a really good defense, best in the league, and we beat them. This year, the Bears.
All right, but we're talking about
Well,
this year. No
okay.
more last year.
Okay, this year the Bears.
Okay.
We didn't score enough against them because that defense is the best in the
So
league.
what's your argument for scoring enough points to keep up with Drew Brees? And the
That
Saints?
defense isn't one of the best in the league. It's up there. I'm saying they're top 10, I think, but they're not number 1.
When has Foles done
The
that?
Saints
Over
definitely-
a year ago. So it's gonna.
So you
know,
can't do it again.
No, because the running game is not going through there.
They didn't run it. They didn't run it last year either. Again in the playoffs, they didn't run it.
Are you saying they're not going to need a running game?
They don't. They didn't run against the Bears either.
But to beat the Saints,
Yeah, they don't need it.
I don't know about that.
So you tell me that game wouldn't have been a lot easier if you guys established a running game?
Which one?
The Bears game.
We
The
couldn't
Bears
because they have the number one rushing defense. If you look that up, they have the number one rushing defense. It's tough to run against them.
That's a fact.
So it's tough to run against them. They tried. It
It's
didn't
tough
work.
to run against the Saints.
I know. So that's what Doug Peterson does best. He RPOs. You think he's gonna run it, and then you got Zach Ertz running down the middle of the field. And don't tell me there's like he's not gonna catch over Marshawn Lattimore.
Marshawn Lattimore was one of the top defensive backs.
But he's having a slump this year. He's having a slump this year. And
but think about it. You guys, like, Eddie Jackson, everyone talk about secondaries. Eddie Jackson didn't even play.
I know he
and
did.
you guys still struggled to throw the ball.
We didn't struggle.
You guys didn't struggle to throw the ball.
We
interceptions?
didn't. 2 interceptions. That's it. One of them
That's
was
not struggling?
Okay,
That's
one,
not-
okay.
that's
Anyway,
it.
In a road
Definitely
playoff
struggling.
game?
listen. In
That's
a
a
road
death
playoff
sentence.
game. In a road playoff, and they
That's
still
a
came.
death
Okay,
sentence.
one of the interceptions wasn't even on him.
You guys had no business winning that game
I
in
don't.
Chicago.
You guys clearly didn't watch the game.
Especially the last
I
drive.
watched
Went
every
to a
snap.
fourth down.
You clearly didn't watch. The
I
game.
watched every snap. But all I'm saying is, Lattimore is their best defensive back.
And he's not having a great
Eddie
season.
Jackson is Chicago. Eddie Jackson's the best defensive back in the league.
Yeah.
Right?
Agreed.
They took him out of the equation. He didn't play.
Well,
and you
who's
guys
that
still
on?
couldn't throw the
Who's
ball.
that on?
You guys still couldn't throw the
But
ball.
you're not getting it. That defense is the best in the league.
It doesn't
So
matter.
us not being able to score
it's
against
not.
them.
It's not like they shut down your. It's not like they were in Foles' face the entire game.
Yeah, they were though.
But they weren't.
They were.
He had time to throw the ball.
He did not. If you watch the game, he was under pressure the whole game. He didn't get sacked, but he was under pressure.
Exactly. He had,
But it's pressure though. He was under pressure. He got throws off under pressure.
all I'm saying is, listen.
And those pass rushers, the
second,
Saints
You're
had-
talking about pressure,
The
though, but who
second-
plays the best under pressure? Drew Brees.
He's talking about different type of pressure.
I
He's
know,
talking
I'm
about
just saying.
Alright,
I
it's
know.
irrelevant.
Oh,
If,
it's
but
it's going to be a good
those
game.
pass rushers aren't the same as the Bears pass rushers.
All I'm saying is the Saints have their best weapon in the defensive backfield, and the Bears didn't. And so I would say that the secondaries are almost comparable, but if we're comparing the secondary that they ran out against you guys compared to the secondary that the Saints are going to put out against
See,
you
but
guys.
you're saying that like it's our fault because they were hurt.
No,
It wasn't.
but I'm saying
You still struggle
their
against
best
the
defensive
Bears.
back
I know,
wasn't
dude.
on the field, and you still struggle.
But without him, they were still the best team, like the best defense. He missed like 3 games before that, and they were still the number 1 defense in those 3 games.
Yes,
they
now
shut
you
down.
take a good, not a great, but a good Saints defense with one of them slump or no slump. He's the top 10 defensive back in the league.
Okay, but this
Marshawn
year,
Lattimore.
I'm telling you, this year, if you look up the numbers like you want to,
This year, he's still a top 10
He's
defensive
not-
back. Name 9
Maybe
defensive
10.
backs better than Marshawn Lattimore. Go.
I don't know by numbers, but I'll name. Let me go. Like I'll name like 7 because I can't.
No,
really-
name 9 because
Okay.
he's top 10.
Casey Hayward.
So if you can only name 7, then he's top 8.
Casey Hayward.
Okay.
Can I name safeties too? Defensive backs. I can name
Defensive
safeties.
backs.
Okay. Casey Hayward, Eric Weddle, Malcolm Jenkins, Landon Collins.
Landon Collins is better than Marshawn Lattimore.
Yeah,
Okay.
this year, yeah.
Okay.
Is Marshawn Lattimore in the playoffs and the
Okay.
Pro Bowl?
No, but he.
Okay,
go
so,
ahead.
he was.
Okay.
Eddie Jackson. See, now I gotta think. I gotta go.
Because
deep.
there's not 9 defensive
There
backs
is.
better than
There
Marshawn
is.
Lattimore. No, it's not.
Just, I'm telling you, if I have, look up the stats. Just me and him will talk. You look up the stats and tell me he's top 10. Okay. So I'm saying is they have someone to stop Alshon Jeffrey. They have someone to stop Golden Tate, Nelson Aguilar, Zach Ertz, and Darren Sproles.
I don't know if I count
They-
Darren Sproles in that equation.
He didn't play that first game we played against him. And ever
I
since
don't know if you're Davey, all those people, like, they're all going to have, like, great games.
they put up numbers against
But-
the Bears.
But great games?
Not great games, but their weapons.
All the Saints
they,
need is-
listen,
all
they
the
don't
Saints
all
need-
have to have a great game. One of them has
So
to
why'd
have a
you
great
just name
game.
them all like-
I'm
out like
naming
that?
weapons, and one of them has to have a great game for them to
Yeah,
win.
but it's not just, you don't look at the game plan and say, oh, let's stop all these receivers. You say, let's stop Nick Foles.
They're not going to be able to stop Nick Foles, though, because he gets the ball out so quick. That's what I said last week against the Bears. The point was, he gets the ball
They
out
can't make
quick.
it tough for him?
They can make it tough, but look, last week when we talked about the Bears and the Eagles, what did I say?
But the offensive line
listen,
also played really well. Jason
Okay, so
Peters
you don't think you don't think they could do it again? They're a top offensive line unit.
They can, but they can't do it to the caliber that the Saints can.
The Saints' defense isn't as good as the Bears' defensive line.
But the Saints' offense is better than the Eagles'
But
offense.
see, now you're talking about the defense. Now you're going to offense. Make up your mind.
No, because you said Foles can throw it out quick, right?
Yeah.
And then does that mean they're
and
gonna
you're-
put points quickly?
Doesn't they control? They play time of possession. They don't play fast. They play time of possession.
But-
the Eagles. So if you could control the time of possession, keep Breeze off, I think we could win.
I don't know if you're.
I think we have the pieces to win. Did you get the numbers?
Yeah, I'm still looking.
All right.
All right.
So I'm not taking credit away from the Saints. They're a really good team. But why'd they go out and get Des Bryant? Because they don't have a second receiver. Why'd they go out and get that Ted Ginn? Brandon Marshall. Because they don't have a second receiver. They have Mike Thomas, Kamara, and Ingram.
But the weapons that they already have are
Compared, complemented with Breeze is enough.
They're really good. That's why they're the first seed they were number 1 seed. But I'm saying we could keep up with them and we could potentially win. I wouldn't be surprised if we won.
You would be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised at all.
No, you're not. You're lying.
Last year, I'm just saying, I wouldn't be surprised. Like the way they're playing right now. That defensive line is coming up. That cornerbacks are emerging. They're young and they could play.
But I think the Eagles' defense and secondary played well against the Bears. Correct?
Yeah,
but I think Breeze is smart and good enough where he's going to pick them apart like easy.
I don't know about all that. He's good
at home.
He's really
at home
good.
against an inexperienced secondary. He's gonna pick them apart.
But
at least
he'll put up points. I'm saying
at least 70%. He's gonna pick you guys apart.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's a good quarterback.
So that's what I'm saying.
If our pressure gets to him, their offensive line isn't that great either. They're hurt.
But then
too.
if he establishes a running game, then it's gonna keep the defensive line on his toes as well.
If all these ifs, I'm saying.
What if it's Alvin Kamara at home?
Listen, man, I'm telling you, our defense is. What was our defensive line? It was the best in the league, right?
Yeah, front seven.
Front seven is the best in the league.
But
we didn't do it because our secondary was hurt in the first game. That was the first time Avante Maddox didn't even play that game. LeBlanc was that was his first game coming in. Sidney Jones was out that game. So our defense is coming together, and I think we could slow down Drew Brees enough to win. Did you get the?
What do you mean by
quarterback?
slow down though?
How
much points do you think this game is gonna require to win?
Let's see.
This is gonna be like a 42 to like
42?
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be that high score.
I think like
it's going to be that high score.
I think 25.
At least on one side it's going to be.
I don't think it's going to be that high score.
I agree with that.
At least
see, I feel like
side.
you guys are looking at it as a biased opinion because you both are Cowboys.
It's not
Giants.
biased. You just named all the facts.
Okay, wait. Cowboys fan, right? What did it take to beat the Saints last time you beat them?
What did it take to beat them?
Like, what did the defense do well?
We shut down the pass game
and
contained Kamara.
Okay. And your defense of 7 is really good too, right?
Our front seven is good.
And how is that compared to our front 7?
Right now?
Unbiased opinion. Not as a fan, as a football analyst. Like how like when you saw the game when you saw us slow down Cohen and Jordan Howard.
Cohen and Howard aren't Ingram.
They're
and
not,
Kamara.
but we stopped them, right? So I'm not saying we're gonna stop Kamara.
The Buccaneers could slow down Jordan Howard and
I'm not saying we could.
Cohen.
I don't think we could stop Ingram and Kamara. They'll have a good game, but we could slow them down enough. And what the Cowboys did against the Saints, if we could do that, replicate that same thing,
I see
we
what
could
you're
win.
getting at.
And the last 5 weeks, the Saints haven't been the same team they were in the beginning beginning 8 weeks. They weren't.
I feel like they had enough time to prepare for this game.
Rest is also a bad thing though, if you think about it.
But not if you have Sean Payton and Breeze. Though.
Most teams don't want that rest because it kills your momentum.
But then he has the time to game plan and it's at home.
Why do you think the Cowboys kept playing Dak that game? Because they didn't want to rest.
There's benefits, but more so benefits than.
I think it kills your momentum.
But would you rather play at home or on the road?
Obviously at home, but I'm just saying I wouldn't be surprised if the Eagles win.
So Alabama lost to Clemson in the finals, but I feel like everyone's talking about the reason why. What was the reason why?
I think it's a Drake curse.
The Drake curse. Oh my god.
We were without a doubt the better team.
Let's analyze this.
Let's rank the Drake curses.
Okay.
So I think the biggest one it has to be the Raptors.
Yeah, ever since he took over as the global ambassador, I'm putting global ambassador in quotation marks. In 2013, they haven't done anything.
But I think even since he was born and became a Raptors fan, they haven't done anything.
I don't know.
Nah, Raptors haven't done anything. They haven't won anything.
Besides Vince
they
Carter's,
always choke in the playoffs.
Besides Vince Carter's dunk in the dunk contest, what other iconic
exactly,
moments do the
that's
Raptors
what I'm
have?
saying. So Raptors, I feel like ever since he was a fan, they haven't done anything.
Yeah. Right.
And
All right, now Kentucky too. I mean,
to
college
Kentucky,
basketball.
Kentucky haven't been in the.
I mean, I'm not too upset about that.
They haven't won
Carolina
since
fan, so it's
2012.
Even the 1 year they were undefeated,
Mm-hmm.
they lost in the final four.
Yeah,
and then McGregor and Khabib. This
That's
is
a
where it
big
starts
one.
to get interesting.
This is where it gets like almost
yeah,
like
it's kind of
serious.
scary.
Yeah.
Oh man. And then we started to Alabama.
But like what Khabib, the McGregor Khabib, that was 50-50. So like, but like that, like we saw.
Yeah, but
pictures of him.
he put like a very
Picture,
strong
yeah.
public support.
He was there during the weigh-in.
with the
and he had the Irish flag.
Which that's just blasphemy.
That's heavy support.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
so
now
the most recent,
Yeah.
the Alabama Clemson game.
He was spotted wearing an Alabama shirt.
Yeah,
The hoodie. He was wearing the hoodie.
Hoodie.
Yeah.
So we didn't even endorse that. It just
Yeah, I know. He just did it.
he just said Alabama. I want you guys to. He probably had money on Clemson.
Maybe.
What if this?
I think he has plans behind this.
He has money on all this stuff.
What if, imagine?
And
And then when LeBron was on the Heat, he was seen with LeBron in the Heat with those favorites, and then they lost to the Spurs the next year.
Even Serena Williams. In
Oh yeah,
2015.
2015. Like apparently they might have been going out or something
No,
at the time.
everybody knows they were
Allegedly,
dating. I mean,
yeah.
And
And
then
then,
this is just the crazy.
but like Serena, she lost to she was favorite. She was breaking all the records that year, and then she lost to
lost to,
some girl named
unranked.
Roberta Vinci or something. She was unranked and
Unranked, yeah.
crazy. And then,
I feel like Drake's Chris is stretching out to all sports.
And then I think the biggest one, career ending.
Johnny Manziel, Johnny Football,
oh my
draft
god,
day.
Oh man,
his
Ended
support
career.
was very strong.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, he got
took
the
him to his
tattoo
house.
and
Yeah,
right, they would party in the summer.
yep.
and he ended his career.
Yeah,
So as a Giants fan, how do you feel about him being best friends with Odell?
Oh yeah,
I mean,
What's next?
let's look at the injury history.
they're not best friends.
But they hang out.
They have a house on the same block.
All right, well, Jake's also very best friends with LeBron, right?
Yeah.
Right? And has that affected LeBron?
Yeah, he hasn't had me finals
Kanye's
yet.
music career.
All right, but has LeBron
Best
still been a
friends.
successful player?
Yeah, I mean, like,
So then OBJ can still be successful. I'll leave it at that.
all right. So let's move on to the predictions for this week.
Yeah.
So we'll just stick to football. And
Okay.
our last week's guest went 5-0. So you got a
I gotta
big
go.
toe. You
Heavy
got big,
shoes.
yeah,
Some
heavy
pressure
shoes
here.
to fill.
Heavy shoes to fill.
All right,
So
so
you
I'm
go
gonna
first.
go.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's go one by one.
Okay, so I'm
Yeah.
gonna go Colts over the Chiefs.
All right.
I gotta take the boys over the Rams.
Nah, let's go. Let's just do one team at a time.
Oh, wait, I thought it was
so,
just
yeah,
me.
yeah. So we'll go one at a time. So
Okay.
Coach Chiefs, who do you got?
Colts.
Okay. Coach Chiefs.
Chiefs.
This is a tough one for me too. I'll go with the Chiefs.
Okay.
Okay. Cowboys, Rams. You
Duh.
go last. Keep you last. Who do you got?
Rams.
All right. I got the Rams as well.
Got the boys.
All right.
Got you.
And then Chargers, Patriots. Who do you have?
I have the Pats. I don't see the Chargers beating them.
Think it's gonna be a close one, but I got the Patriots as well.
I got the Chargers.
Okay.
So you'll go last for this. Eagles, Saints. Who you got?
I got the Saints. I mean, I thought they had a bye at first. I don't know why we're talking about
seriously.
this.
I mean, I have the Saints. I don't think there's much to talk about.
I got the
This is gonna be the
Eagles,
least close
and
game.
I'm telling you, next week I'm gonna text you Sunday night. I'll text both.
I'll
of you.
FaceTime you as Drew Brees is taking a knee
All right.
to go to the NFC Championship
Bro.
game.
We'll see.
All right.
We'll see. All right, so that wraps up this episode of It's Case.
Yeah,
it was
man.
great having you.
Yeah,
How
thanks
do
for
you
having me
feel?
on, guys.
Yeah,
It was a
man.
lot of fun. I'm a little fired up. Hopefully, people.
Some parts got heated.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
you dragged on the episode a little too long.
Yeah, man. I had to get my points across.
It was
Yeah,
good,
but it
though.
was fun. It was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Hopefully we
Thanks
have
for
you
having me
again.
on.
No
Yeah.
problem. Have you on again soon.